What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match and Barcelona beat Porto 1-0 away in the Champions League, continuing their perfect start. My God, what a game this was. Dreadful, and I mean dreadful performance from Barcelona. It could be and probably is the worst performance of the season. But we've only gone and got 3 crucial points. Again, Barcelona passed their first test of the season, winning a big game away in the Champions League. The starting lineup for this match is on the screen right now. It was Ter Stegen in goal, a back 4 of Cancelo, Araujo, Koundé, and Balde, midfield 3 of Romeo, Gundogan, and Gavi, and a front 3 of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Joao Felix. You could say it was the best lineup that Xavi could have deployed, and we also had Ferran Torres, Fermin Lopez, Sergio Roberto, and Marcos Alonso making appearances off the bench. Now, the only goal scored in this match, thankfully, was scored for Barcelona, and it was scored by the Shark, Ferran Torres, of course, making his appearance off the bench in a positive way. It was a mistake in the midfield by Porto, and Gundogan picks it up, puts a beautiful through ball in for Ferran Torres, and he has a calm, cool-collected finish just under Diogo Costa, the Porto goalkeeper, and gives Barcelona the lead immediately before halftime. They go before halftime, was absolutely crucial in the Blaugrana securing their 3 points. So overall, the team performance rating on the night, I'm going to be giving it a 5 out of 10. That is right, under average, despite the fact that we have won away in the Champions League at a very difficult ground. That performance was beyond shite. It was the worst thing that I've seen this season. I honestly believe that performance was, you know, a performance that I expect from maybe like a Celta Vigo or like a Eibar or Cadiz. Like, it was dreadful. I mean, Barcelona is built on passing, and we could not string 2 passes in this game to save our lives. My goodness gracious. This came down to Barcelona being clinical from a Porto mistake and defending for their lives. This performance for me was beyond unacceptable, and I think the criticism has to be given out to every single player that performed this game. They could not pass the ball, and not only that, they're giving away mistakes at the back. They're allowing Porto to cruise to the midfield, but yet they did go out with the win. So I do want to give them credit where it's due for battling it out, especially for that last 20 minutes, getting the result that we did need. But the performance wasn't there. And you know what? Sometimes it happens. You know, we've now won back-to-back games 1-0 and back-to-back mistakes from our opponents. Of course, Sevilla, Sergio Ramos on goal. And then for Porto, it was a mistake that led to the Barcelona goal. Again, we're looking at from last season where we won 1-0. Usually it was comfortable positions and we just couldn't score any more goals. We weren't clinical. This time we're winning 1-0 by the skin of our teeth. Like, it is ridiculous. But absolutely, I'm going to take it. I think, again, the main reason why we won this game was because we scored before halftime. Again, there's like 10 seconds left of the game. They make a mistake. Quick counter attack. Bish, bash, bosh. We get the goal. Their heads drop, and our heads are up. I think if we don't score that goal before halftime, I think probably Porto go on to win it. Of course, they scored a goal that was offside, rightfully so. Handball, of course, that was given the penalty. First of all, Cancelo's hand was outside the box. And second of all, STKU does handball it twice. The chest here, you could say, oh, it's just tricep, whatever. But then when the ball comes down, he hits it with his palm as well. So either way, that penalty was rightfully and correctly disallowed. But you could say Barcelona got away with it. Again, they could have had 2 opportunities to score there. I think Porto did have the better chance in this game. I think the chances probably, you could say, were a bit even. But a lot of weird things happened in this game. Of course, you know, Gavi red card. Lamine Yamal went for a piss in the middle of the game and never came back. Like, it was overall a very weird game, but I'm just so happy that Barcelona came out with the 3 points. And for me, that pretty much secures first in this group. Again, we do, of course, still have a whole bunch of games left. We have, I think, 4 games left. So you play Shakhtar twice, Antwerp and Porto again. Of course, 2 of those will be at home, 2 of them will be away. I think Barcelona at this point have secured top of the group. If you beat Shakhtar twice in the doubleheader, maybe draw at home to Porto, and then beat Royal Antwerp away. We'll have to wait and see what Porto do as well. They may drop points somewhere, but I think this pretty much secures top of the group. I think, again, getting top of the group this season is very, very important. But overall, was not satisfied with the performance whatsoever. I think it was definitely the worst of the season. I don't know how he came out with the victory. But again, credit where it's due for performing poorly and coming out with a positive result. But again, the overall team performance tonight for me gets a below average 5 out of 10. Let's now get into the players' individual player ratings, which off of course the goalkeeper and the captain, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. And for me tonight, he gets an 8 out of 10. I'll tell you what, his distribution in the first half was absolutely shocking. First half was kind of quiet for him, to be fair. A few catches here and there. Made 2 brilliant saves in the second half that pretty much, of course, keeps in the game. He very much deserved his clean sheet today. I think he very much as well earned it. I think defensively today, in the sense of his shot stopping, he was brilliant. Again, distribution wasn't the best today, although he did have some good pings to Lewandowski and Lamine Yamal. The majority of them were misplaced. Of course, the long ones, the short passes, he dealt with comfortably. I think he gave a really true captain performance as well, you know, pushing the referee for the penalty and all this stuff. I saw a real captain today in Marc, and you know what? I think he put in a good performance despite his poor passing, so I will be giving him a very strong 8 out of 10. Now, our center-back partnership in front of him. Firstly, on the left-hand side, it was Ronald Araujo, and I will give Araujo a 7 out of 10, just above average, and I would say, luckily so. If we're doing halftime player ratings, I probably would give Araujo a 3. He was absolutely dreadful in that first half. His passing was the worst I've seen from a center-back since Turevsky, the Ukrainian center back in like what, 2010. My God, he was awful today. But second half picked it up. I think his passing was still shocking in the second half, but defensively he came up big, had 2 huge tackles. Hopefully, there's been some reports saying that he's been, you know, dealing with some discomfort near the end of the game. So hopefully he's still fit. If he gets injured after this, serious questions have to be asked, whether, you know, renew his contract and all that stuff. But that's a topic for another day. Hopefully he is somewhat fit. Maybe he's not fully fit, but somewhat fit after this game. But I think he performed very well from the defensive aspect of the game. I think his passing today was dreadful. So overall, I think you gave him a 3 for the first half, and maybe like an 8 for the second half, mainly, of course, for his defensive output. He didn't have to do much passing. I kind of balanced that out to a 7 out of 10. But my partner, of course, on the right-hand side was, of course, Jules Koundé, and he gets my man of the match, 9 out of 10. Again, like Araujo, Koundé's passing in the first half, madre mia, I could have passed better than him. That's how bad Koundé was in the first half in terms of his passing out from the back. Again, defensively today, this man saved us absolutely flawless. I think the chance where I think Pepe was through and he had that unreal tackle. If you go to my live stream, I celebrate that like as if we scored a goal. He had 2 also interceptions near the right-hand side of ter Stegen's net. One actually went out for a goal kick as well, which was superb. And again, I have to highlight it again. Koundé's aerial duels is nuts. He wins every single header. If you're telling me there's a center back in the world right now that's better than him on current form, you are smoking something, and send it my way because I might need it, you know, midway through the season. But Koundé, unreal, the best center back in the world, and he strikes yet again. Without him today, Barcelona dropped points in this game, draw this match 100%, and for me, he gets my man of the match and a 9 out of 10. Into the fullbacks now. Firstly, Alejandro Balde at left back. I'm going to give Alejandro Balde a 7 out of 10. I think probably people would give him maybe a 6 or a 5. I give him that 7 because, you know what? I had to respect today his work rate. He was up and down that left flank for the entirety of the game. Few missed passes, few slips here and there. I think he defended very well, again, backing up his performance defensively against Sevilla on Friday. I think going forward, he was there. He was playing well. A lot of times where he thought that he, you know, before handball, they would just cross it into no man's land. He didn't. He cut it back. I still think, again, he wasn't as effective in the final third, but I think defensively wise today, played very well. And I will give him a very generous, you could say, 7. I think probably 6.4, 6.5 is the correct rating for Balde. But at right back, it was João Cancelo, and I will give Cancelo tonight a 7 out of 10. Now, I will highlight this. I don't think he touched Porto's half. I honestly don't think he did. I think the defensive output today from Cancelo was fantastic. I think he defended very well in this game. Of course, going forward, absolutely non-existent. Lost the ball a few times, though, in key areas. I think he lost the ball in the lead up to the penalty shot. Now, of course, he gave away. Again, he gives away the penalty. The rating is going to be different, of course, but I think defensively today, Cancelo was fantastic. And I think he, from a right back, a full back, what we've seen over the past few years, we don't really see Cancelo defend, and people are questioning his defensive output. I think today he shut down the haters, defended very, very well, but didn't get forward whatsoever. I don't know if that was the tactical change from Xavi saying to just stay back, Balde will go forward. I don't know what that was, but nonetheless, I think Cancelo today defensively really, really put in the shift, and I will be giving him a very solid 7 out of 10. Into the midfield now. Firstly, in the pivot was, of course, Oriol Romeu. And I'm giving Romeu tonight a 3 out of 10. By far the worst Barcelona player in this match. Lads, I am scared. I am scared because Romeu is showing why he is shit. Because, you know, he came in, we're thinking, oh, you know, Xavi, what's he doing here? Picking Romeu. He comes, have a few good games. Masterclass in the Clasico. Great performances in the first few games. And now I think we're seeing the true level of Romeu. And he is just not at the races. We desperately need to bring in a pivot in January. If we don't, it'll be a long season. Again, Gundogan can play there, but he's not a pivot. Frankie de Jong can play there, but he is not a pivot. I think the pivot right now is the most worrying position at Barcelona because Romeu, I think, isn't up the races. Maybe because Frankie de Jong is missing. With Frankie de Jong, he's been flawless. Without Frankie de Jong, he's been absolutely dreadful. That's now back-to-back poor performances from Romeu as well. Started against Mallorca, shocking. Didn't start against Sevilla, came on last 10 minutes, whatever. Started today, absolutely shocking yet again. In the first few minutes, he was okay. Little flick passes here and there. And to be fair, he did handle some of Ter Stegen's passing well because Ter Stegen was giving him balls in no man's land. He's flicking them nicely to Araujo and Cancelo and Koundé. But in defensive transition, shocking. When he's in possession as well, when we're in the attacking phase, shocking. Losing the ball left, right, and center. Passes are being incomplete left, right, and center as well. Shocking. The worst performance I've seen from Romeu so far. Hopefully, no more of that. But he does get a 3 out of 10 from me. Next up, of course, in the midfield, on the right-hand side, it was İlkay Gundogan. And I'm going to give İlkay Gundogan a 7 out of 10. Again, like Balde, I think there is the argument to give him a 6 or a 5. I think, again, his passing today was very, very off. But I think I want to give credit for Gundogan. Firstly, he got the assist for Ferran, picked the ball quickly, had the awareness there, gave a great pass to Ferran Torres. Secondly, I think, again, like Balde, the work rate was there from Gundogan. He was up and down, being creative, getting stuck in. I think his output today is where he lacked quite a bit. I think some of his passes were too short, too long. He would, you know, Lamine Yamal would be through on the right-hand side. He'd take like 4 touches, then pass it to him. He was a bit slow in that sense. So I think, again, with the situation, I think he did still play very, very well. And I will give him a 7 out of 10. And last but not least, of course, in the midfield on the left-hand side, it was Gavi. I will give Gavi tonight an average 6 out of 10. Of course, got the red card in the end. His 2 yells were both, you know, pulling the shirts and, you know, stopping a counterattack, so to speak. Both, you know, unnecessary yellow cards. He's now suspended for Shakhtar at home, which could be good. Again, that is before, I believe, the Clasico, so he'll be arrested before the Clasico. Positive. But now you look at going into Shakhtar, we only have 2 fit and available midfielders for that game, and Gundogan and Romeu. Gundogan's, of course, going to go on international duty. Let's pray he does not get injured. Romeu will be fine, but we'll probably end up seeing Fermin, Gundogan, and Romeu in that game. But if Gundogan goes down, and hopefully not in international break, we could be seeing something completely different. Again, the squad is catching up to us. But on Gavi, I think he performed okay. I think in that first half, he was just getting stuck in, winning the ball back. I think, again, his output in the final third wasn't great, and he lost the ball quite a bit, especially from a player that, you know, rarely ever loses the ball. I think that first 15-20 minutes he played very, very well, but apart from that, I think he was bang average, and of course he got the red card as well, so you gotta take that into consideration. So I will give Gavi tonight a 6 out of 10. Into the forwards now. Firstly, Lamine Yamal at the right wing position. I'm gonna give Lamine Yamal an average 6 out of 10. To be honest, I would have given him a 7. I'll tell you why I didn't. I think, again, he played very, very well. Looked like the actual spark in that team. He kind of had a Dembele performance in the sense of what we expect from Dembele. Every time Lamine Yamal got the ball, you can see him in the live stream. Come on, Lamine Yamal, give us some magic. He was the only player that, you know, got me off my seat a bit, thinking that, oh, he can do anything. Had some great runs, great dribbles, but I think he almost cost Barcelona the game. This man went for a piss for 10 minutes, and then we played for 10 minutes, 10 men. In that second half of that second half, we played with 10 men, because of course Gavi got a red card, and this man went for a piss or a poop or something. He went to the bathroom and never came back. Xavi then had to, we'll talk about this later on when we talk about Xavi, but again, he's left mid-game to use the washroom. Mate, you're in the Champions League for Barcelona. I think you can hold it in unless it's bearing down on you, begging to come out. You ask for a substitution, you don't just leave. But I think, again, that almost did cost Barcelona. Thankfully, he did it, but I think, again, his performance was okay. But for going for a piss, I have given Lamine Yamal a 6 out of 10. Next up on the left-hand side, it was João Felix. And I will give João Felix a 7 out of 10. I think he played very, very well. He was our only attacking threat in the entirety of the game. It looked like, and he played like he really wanted to score against Porto. Again, had some great chances, the one over the bar. A lot of his chances, though, that he did some good movement for and would create space himself for. Every time he shot it, it was always a block. I'm just wondering what if they're on target, do they go in? I think Fields played very, very well. Another positive performance from him, and I will be giving him a 7 out of 10. And last but not the least, of course, the main man, but he wasn't main man today because he went off injured, RL9, Robert Lewandowski. I don't know if I can really rate him. He went off pretty early, I think, what, 25th minute? I think definitely before the half an hour mark. And, you know, he really wasn't in the game too much. He had that good moment where he could have chipped the through ball to Gundogan, just outside the box. Poor decision making from there. Probably give him an average 6, maybe 5.5, but positively, we are hearing that his injury isn't serious. It was just a blow, so he could even be in the squad list on the bench, maybe for Granada. But again, it is another injury for Barcelona. We're now averaging an injury every single game over the past few games. So hopefully, the medical team can shape the F up and, you know, prevent these injuries from happening. And the tackle wasn't even called a foul by Anthony Taylor. So from Lewandowski, I can't really rate him, but we'll give him the average, you know, 6 out of 10. Now for the substitutions, the subs were Ferran Torres, Sergi Roberto, Fermin Lopez, and Marcos Alonso. Firstly, Ferran Torres did play the majority of the game. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I think, again, he was kind of playing the graveyard shift for the majority of the game, but he did, of course, get the goal, which was absolutely crucial. I think the majority of the game, he was, you know, making runs in behind, dummy runs here and that, just to, you know, distract some of the Porto center backs, but never got. I don't even think he was through on goal after he scored. There was that chance in the second half where he did sky when he could have scored it back to Fermin Lopez. Apart from that, very quiet game for him in the graveyard shift, but again, getting the goal, 7 out of 10. Roberto was shocking. I mean, how we should terminate his contract tomorrow. He got a yellow card as well. He just came in as an extra body with, you know, fitness. Again, do I really blame Xavi for that? Everyone is injured. I mean, he has no one else. I think apart from that, you had like what, Casado and Astrolaga, Inigo Martinez, Christensen on the bench. Would I prefer Inigo Martinez or Christensen to come in? Yes, but in the midfield, that's where the question mark comes in. I mean, it is what it is. Fermin Lopez came in, ran around a bit, same with Marcos Alonso. Marcos Alonso was fucking, like, my man moves like a snail. You know, when FIFA released their paces, a lot of people say, oh, this guy should be higher, this guy should be higher, this is not accurate. Alonso's pace is accurate. My God, this man's walking around like he has 29 pace every single game. Very, very slow. Again, the subs, apart from Ferran Torres, the other three had little to no impact on this game whatsoever. They literally just came in as fresh legs. But again, it is what it is. But shout out to the Shark, Ferran. And last but not the least is, of course, the manager, Xavi Hernandez, who tonight for me will be getting a 6 out of 10. Got the 3 points. Got the clean sheet. Credit where it's due for that. Picked the right lineup. Credit for that. My main issue with Xavi today was firstly not being proactive with the substitutions and also not using all 5 of them. I would love to have seen Inigo Martinez or Christian come in last 5-10 minutes, just, you know, park the bus essentially. Why was Lamine Yamal not on the pitch for 10 minutes and he did not sub him off? I think that was a catastrophic error from Xavi that could and probably should have cost us the game. If Lamine Yamal's not back in a minute or two, you sub him off immediately. Yep, you went to go pee, that's your decision, I don't care. You take him off. We played without Lamine Yamal for a solid 10-15 minutes. That is dreadful. Dreadful decision making from Xavi. I mean, apart from that, he really couldn't do much else. It came down to the performance of the players. I think he set up the team right. You know, the lineup had no problem. It just you can't really blame Xavi for Koundé and Araujo not passing the ball. I don't know. You can't blame Xavi for Koundé and Araujo not passing the ball and Romeo being stinky and all that stuff. Would have liked to see him be a bit more proactive. He didn't make his first double change of Fermin Lopez and Sergi Roberto until like the 69th minute. I think I would have seen that earlier, maybe around the hour mark when we were struggling. Again, everyone was saying to take Romeo off at halftime and he didn't. So little tweaks here from Xavi, but again, I don't think the majority of the blame for the poor performance is on him. And again, on paper, got the clean sheet, 3 points and a goal and a big win away in the Champions League. So there is minor credit to give for Xavi. But apart from that, I will give Xavi tonight a 6 out of 10. So that was my match review for Porto versus Barcelona in the Champions League. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. And of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing, of course, your thoughts on the performance, your player ratings, and your manager rating as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.